All right, random Saturday thoughts. Take one. All right, everybody. We'll see if we can get this right. Hello, Neil. Thank you for checking in already. I was sorry that I had a problem with my mic on Thursday, and I tried to give you an opportunity to see the video of my interview with AC Mike when I called into his show on Thursday, and we had some great stuff on there. But apparently, my mic was broken, so you could understand all the things that AC Mike was saying, but you couldn't understand any of the things that I was saying. And since a lot of you were tuned in ostensibly to see and hear me, that I'm sure came as a slight disappointment, at least to some of you. So I spent a good portion of yesterday and today trying to fix it, and I have fixed it. Grace says, "Hi, Frank. Good to see you. Good to see you as well, Grace. Thank you very much." All right, a lot that I want to get to. Some serious stuff, some not so serious stuff. Let me begin on a very serious note. If you didn't hear any of Friday's show, one of our most devoted listeners to the show, one of the most regular contributors to the Facebook group, one of the most devoted commenters to this page, and someone that's been a regular caller, and as far as I know, our most enthusiastic caller and listener in the entire nation of France, Noemi. I'm not going to get into all the detail that I did on Friday, but you can go back and listen to Friday's show if you want to. Just check out the podcast, fmwabc.com. I believe it was in hour 3 or 4 where I talked about it. Noemi was attacked. She was viciously attacked in France by 2 thugs, and she, from what it sounds like, she was very badly beaten, very badly assaulted, and she's right now in a medically induced coma. I've asked her son to share updates on her condition and her progress, and he said that he would. I posted her address. I hope that's okay with her, but I'm assuming none of you live in Europe and are going to go stalk her. I posted her address in the Facebook group in case anyone, and this is what I'm going to do, wants to send her a letter or a card. And I think it would be so nice if and when she gets out of this medically induced coma for her to wake up to all these wonderful well wishes from a country that's not even hers. So I have you can join the Facebook group. If you're not a member, just go on Facebook, type Morano Radio Fans and Haters. And I posted the address there, and I hope a lot of you will send cards and well wishes. And those of you that pray, please keep her in your prayers. I know a lot of us are going to be going to church tomorrow. And a lot of times, depending on the specific nature of your church, they ask for prayer requests and things like that. I'm a big believer that matters. So maybe it doesn't. I happen to think it does. So I hope you'll keep her in your prayers and ask others to do the same. This is a woman who is just such a nice woman. Not only is she a great listener and a big supporter of everything I do, a subscriber to the Facebook page, she went out of her way to send my mom and my wife baguette scented postage stamps because we talked about it on the show. And she's had a very rough year. She was recently in a car accident this year, and her brother just passed away not long ago. And now this. So I hate to see that she's going through all this because she is really such a nice lady. The other thing that I'll mention is, and she wrote to me about this just last week, quite frankly, how, she, I think, has very left-wing politics, which I think is great, which is fine. But she had mentioned to me that a lot of people in the Facebook group are picking on her and kind of acting like she doesn't have an opportunity. She doesn't have any right to her opinion. And I really wish people wouldn't do that. I don't know how many times I have to ask, but please, if you're in the Facebook group, I know for some reason when it comes to politics, people lose any sense of decency and decorum far too often. If you're in the Facebook group, please be nice to one another. If somebody says something that you disagree with, 1, you don't have to comment. 2, you can also just say something polite like, "Hey, I respectfully disagree." That's it. You don't have to attack someone because they don't live in the same country as you, or they didn't vote for the same presidential candidate as you, or anything like that. I really don't see any reason why people have to be so mean to one another. So I'm hoping that, as horrible as this situation involving Noemi is, that maybe not only will everybody be nicer to her when she comes back to the Facebook group, but I'm hoping that everybody will just keep in mind that every person in there is a human and deserves to be treated with respect and kindness. I don't know when that got lost, except me. I'm making myself fair game. People want to go in there and bash me and say negative things about me. That is totally fine. So other than that, have at it. But please be nice to one another. Okay. What else? Ellen checking in. I'm interrupting Vinny Medugno. I know Vinny usually watches these broadcasts. Vinny, I apologize for interrupting your show. It's been such a busy day. You know, it's funny. You always have to look out for the days that you have nothing scheduled. And aside from Carmine's haircut, which was scheduled today, we had nothing on our schedule, but we had to actually cancel the haircut. But here, I'm getting in trouble. Oh boy, he's running outside. I'm going to wrap this up relatively soon because Carmine is being rambunctious. All right. What else? So it is the first opportunity that I've had to comment on anything, so I will be brief. So we're wishing the best for Noemi. I also want to apologize to those of you that bought tickets to the show that I was supposed to do with Elliot Gordon last week on November 14th. I think Liz from Florida had actually changed her schedule and gone out of her way to come up to New York to be here for that. Apparently, they had to reschedule that. It's been rescheduled for January. I don't know precisely what happened, but I mean, my theory, honestly, between us, is that not a lot of people bought tickets. And they tried to move it to a smaller venue. I think Elliot and others may have overestimated the demand for people that were eager to see me in person. So that's going to be in January if you want to go. Just Google Frank Morano and Elliot Gordon, and it comes right up. Is that Robert Guzzi? Been watching News Nation, great channel. I think you should be a part of it. You know, I like News Nation a lot too. One, I like that they do a lot of alien stuff. Two, I love that they try to actually be fair. But, and it's funny you said that because our friends Kevin and Virginia said they were watching something Chris Cuomo was saying the other day. I don't know what it was. And Kevin said to his wife, Virginia, why do I feel like this is what Frank's show is like? And I didn't see the show, so I don't know whether to be complimented or insulted. But I like News Nation. Dan Abrams is great on there. And he has me on from time to time, and you know, that's really the only cable news show that does have me on these days, at least most recently, anyway. But you know, feel free to suggest that they should offer me a contract. You know, their parent company is great. Their parent company owns WGN in Chicago, the Chicago radio station they're on. They're terrific, and I love them, and I love everything that company is doing. But Lee Harris, who is the news director at News Nation, is also the go-to guy at WGN Chicago. A lot of you may remember him from his great work on 1010 Wins over the years, and he was really the guy who made the decision ultimately in getting our show on WGN. So we appreciate that. Robert says, watching our show from Paris. So I guess maybe we do have more French listeners than I'm aware. Well, thank you, Robert. Oh, Virginia's watching. She says it was a compliment, the Chris Cuomo comparison. Some of the stuff I've seen from Chris Cuomo, including on News Nation, I'm not sure I would take it that way. But so if anyone wants to go to that show that I'm doing with Elliot Gordon, just go to Google and Google Frank Morano, Elliot Gordon, and you get a link to buy tickets, and that's that. What else do you have? Oh, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I know this could be a little boring. Meantime, our battle to get in-person community board meetings is progressing. So this is from the Staten Island Advance. Thank you to my newspaper person, Donna, who gave me this article. So basically, Community Board 3, the community board that I'm on, not the one that I'm chairman of, although the chairman has the same name as me, go figure that out, has apparently not been running legally. And so I have been complaining that we haven't had in-person meetings. And finally now, after my complaints, the news department says that we do have to have in-person meetings. So right now we're having in-person meetings, but they are looking, the borough president, Vito Fasella, and the council members, David Carr and Joe Borelli, are looking for more people to serve on community boards. So if you live in the South Shore of Staten Island, I would encourage you, please apply to be on the community board. There are already a lot of vacancies. And from what it sounds like, based on what Joe Borelli was saying in this article, I think that there may be some people that are not reappointed. And it sounds like, these are all my friends that I'm at odds with. So I don't want to sound like I'm pleased that they're going to be removed. But the fact is they really haven't been doing the right thing. But I think there's already a lot of vacancies and there will be more vacancies. So I hope you will apply to be on the community board if you care about what's going on in Staten Island. Robert says, I started listening to WGN back in the 50s. Great. Well, I don't think the station has ever sounded better. I think it sounds better now than it has at any point in its history. Thank you. Christina says, who sings I've Been Looking for Jesus for a Long Time? Christina, that is the song that we play at the top of the 4 a.m. hour. That is the Swan Silvertones, and the song is called I'm Not Tired Yet. So that's that. It's a great song, and that was actually the only song I ever knew I would play if I had an overnight show. I used to listen to Curtis Lewa and his overnight show 30 years ago, and that was his theme song. And I said, if I ever have an overnight show one day, that's going to be the theme song to my last hour. And lo and behold, I do have an overnight show, and it is the theme song. Paulie Nugent says, you need to be on Instagram more often. Paulie, you're right. Paulie, you know what I need? I need another 5 hours in my day to get stuff done. I don't even have the time to get everything done that I need to get done. So a lot of time, things that aren't necessarily essential end up getting cut. Cheech on Instagram says, hi, Frank, you're the only pundit I've heard that likes Gates for AG. I like him as well. Well, Cheech, first of all, I have a long record of being wrong on just about everything. If you look at, I don't know that I should admit to this, but I will. But if you look at the people in the first Trump administration, so many of the people that I liked turned out to be disasters. And so many of the people that I thought would be good weren't. So the fact of the matter is my track record is not that great in terms of actually knowing what the deal is. But thank you. I do. Look, I think we need to disrupt the system, and he's a disruptor. And, he's very populist on antitrust issues, on government surveillance. And I really think the DOJ needs a colonic. And I would much rather have him there than just some standard variety Republican lawyer. So we'll see what happens. But he's going to have a rough confirmation hearing, but he may get to serve. Paulie Nugent also wants more racket reports. We are going to do one on Monday, which I think you're going to like. A law enforcement professional who has a lot of experience arresting mobsters, but he's got a really compelling story. I don't want to spoil too much of it now. We'll wait till we tape it. Oh, Margot Katzmatidis is watching. Hello, Margot. It was nice to see you on election night, and thank you for catering spanakopita. Okay, what else? So that's that. Oh, I want to, because I took a shot at the New York Times the last time we did one of these videos, because I mentioned they did this article listing all the best pizza places in New York City, and they didn't mention, they did this article mentioning all the best bagel places in New York City, and they didn't mention one Staten Island place. And everybody knows that everybody knows that if you're talking the best bagels, Staten Island is near the top of the list. There's a long list. And I mentioned that I thought that this was reflective of an anti-Staten Island bias by the New York Times, because a few years ago, they put together a list of the 10 best pizza shops in New York City, and they didn't include Staten Island in any of those. Now, that's a total joke, because we have the best pizza, not just in New York City, but maybe the entire world, including Italy. So right after I did that, they came out with an updated version of this this story, the 25 best pizza places in New York right now. And there's still a little bit of an anti-Staten Island bias here, but this is a much better list, and there are several Staten Island pizza places on this list. There is Danino's right near the top. It's alphabetical in Port Richmond. That is a worthy addition. Also on this list is, obviously these are all great pizza shops, at least the ones that I've been to. Joe and Pat's Pizzeria but listen what they do. Look, they say Joe and Pat's in the East Village. I guess they just opened a branch in the East Village. Give me a break. Joe and Pat's is a Staten Island institution, and yet to get included in the New York Times list, they had to open up a sibling in the East Village. Now, whatever it takes, that's great. I'm glad Joe and Pat's is getting the recognition they deserve. But, I mean, come on. The East Village, Castleton Corners. There's some other good ones, recognition on this list. So I figured, since I took a shot at the New York Times, that the least I could do is, when they did the right thing, the least we could do is give them a shout out. Michael says James Flippin is an excellent addition to the station. I agree. I was just listening to he and Frank Morano. I'm Frank Morano. You know what it is? I get easily confused because I'm trying to read comments and to do technical stuff and post the comments. I'm keeping an ear out for my son Carmine, seeing what he's up to, and I'm still trying to talk and make some sense. I was just listening to he and Anthony Weiner. I thought they do a great job. Christina, Frank, what's your opinion on the Staten Island Bakery fiasco? I did this in my local spotlight, 4 a.m. on Friday morning. And again, if you want to check out any of Friday's show, including the local spotlight, go to wabcradio.com/Frank. And I'll repeat what I said. What Whoopi Goldberg did was outrageous. I've been going to Holterman's forever. My whole life. They're the nicest people. It's the oldest bakery in New York City. It's family run. They would never discriminate against anyone for political reasons or any other reasons. These are the nicest people in the world. And to see their name dragged through the mud like this is horrifying. Whoopi Goldberg ought to be ashamed of herself. I was going to go there today, but the line was out the door. Apparently, there's an hour wait of people lining up to go there to support them. So after this initial uptick, and they're getting orders from all over the country, people want to donate things to nearby schools and things like that just to support them and to support the local community, which is wonderful. But there was a great press conference on Friday there with all the elected officials, Democratic and Republican. And that's what I like to see. I hope Whoopi Goldberg apologizes, quite frankly, because what she did there, it's obscene. The fact that she would target a small business like this, it is beyond obscene, in my opinion. So that's my view of that. Okay. Richard Luthman says New York Times, wrong on Stalin, wrong on pizza. Say what you want about Richard Luthman. That he is a character and has a way with words. Okay. Last night was the last supermoon. I meant to do this. I put it on my notes. I meant to do this yesterday, but I didn't have a chance because we were running around. Last night was the last supermoon until October of 2025. So it still looks nice. I'm looking at the moon now outside my window. We're going to go take a look outside now because the boys across the street have a birthday, and Carmine and I are going to go walk over there. But this is a beautiful moon still. So if you didn't get a chance to observe last night's supermoon, tonight's moon is not quite as super, but it still looks beautiful. So, I was with Diane Savino last night, and she made the reference to Moonstruck, that it's like Cosmo's moon in Moonstruck. And that was the first thing that occurred to me. But when I was making that observation, I had nobody to remark to about it. So enjoy that moon. Go out and enjoy it, because this is the last one you're going to see like this for almost a year, till October of next year. All right. I want to thank my friend Sid Rosenberg for inviting me on his program Friday morning. That kind of came together last minute. The feedback that I've been getting about that appearance Friday morning has been overwhelmingly positive, even from people that disagreed with me. So I want to thank Sid for having me on. That was very kind. I also want to thank my buddy Johnny Potenza, who you should be following on both Facebook and the YouTube, for lunch. We had lunch at Joyce's yesterday, and not only did he buy lunch, which was very nice, which he certainly didn't have to do, but he also got some toy trucks for Carmine. And let's see, can I see if I can't get the video of Carmine playing with his toy truck that we had yesterday. Well, here he is playing with one of the toy trucks. Here, let me see if I can play this for you. I never tried it this way, so bear with me. But he got such a kick out of this
from Uncle Johnny P. What do you say?
Carmine with his toy truck.
Go ahead. We'll send him a video. Say thank you, Johnny.
Thank you, Johnny.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
So there you see.
Got me a new car.
Yeah, that's a Chevy pickup truck.
Yeah. I don't like trucks. I want cars.
So he got a big kick out of it. So that was very nice of Johnny to keep him in mind. So I thank Johnny for that. And Johnny's a great guy. He's doing some interesting things in the podcast world now. And you should check out his show. He's got a lot of classic clips there of interviews with people like me, Pete Davidson, before anybody knew who Pete Davidson was, Curtis Lewa, a lot of actors, musicians. So Johnny Potenza is a good friend for almost 25 years. And I really appreciate his friendship. And he's a real talent, I think. A lot of people like to goof on him. Not me. I think he's tops in my book. All right. Now to the title of yesterday's of today's video. Do you know what a floor lamp is? Now, I'm betting a lot of the ladies do, but maybe the guys don't. What's a floor lamp? Okay, what's a floor lamp? Just comment in there if you know. Does anybody know what a floor lamp is? So a floor lamp, here's the situation. My wife does these television hits on a bunch of stations around the country for her job, and she's great on television, but she does it from her office. So I'm trying to keep Carmine occupied while getting ready to go on Sid's show, and I'm trying to help her, and I get called from her office that it's too dark. She had a light that was out, which I, by the way, changed after her appearance flawlessly. It takes one Murano to change a light bulb. Oh, Michael Cutler answers. A standard lamp. That's what I would think. Okay, good. Glad I'm not an idiot. Well, I may be an idiot, but you're an idiot with me. So a light is out, and she's about to go on television. I said, what can I do to help? She says, there's a floor lamp in our bedroom. Can you go grab it? Now, I don't really know what a floor lamp is. She says it's next to the air conditioner. So I go up, and I'm looking. And I don't see on the floor any lamps. I see this big old thing, but she can't want me to take down that 6-foot lamp all the way downstairs. So I see another lamp that looks like that, basically, on the counter near, kind of near the air conditioner. It projects light. It's small, and as Michael theorized, all she wants is probably a standard lamp. Why does she call it a floor lamp? So I bring that down. The look of disappointment on her face when I brought down this standard lamp was, oh, sweetie.
I'm hearing you tell this story.
Yeah, well, come on in.
Make sure you don't lie about
Hey, come on. Say hello to the Facebook community. Yeah, hey, say hi, Facebook community.
Hi, Facebook community.
How you feeling?
Good.
So
the look of disappointment on my face.
I see the look of disappointment on my wife's face, which do you need to be changed?
Yes, we were just going to change this diaper.
That I get every so often, And she said, "This is
I
not
want
a."
some stars.
You want some stars? Tell the Facebook people that you want stars.
I want some stars, Mandy.
Yeah, Facebook people, send stars for Carmine. We're going to use it to pay our cable bill because my wife is trying to get rid of cable. You like cable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can watch The Simpsons on there and sports and New York One and Smirkanish.
Did you ask people what a floor lamp is? Literally every single person.
Not Michael
knows.
Cutler. Not
No.
Michael Cutler.
Michael Cutler. He said standard lamp.
Standard
I
lamp.
don't know what that means.
It's
Literally
this.
every other description from people is, how could you not know what that
Who are you
is?
going to listen to? Virginia? Who are you listening to?
Literally
Jennifer
every
Lorenzo?
comment here. It's about 6 feet tall.
Okay.
You got to be kidding. A tall lamp that stands high in the ear. A floor lamp has a weighted base. Blah blah blah. It's like, thank you, Facebook.
Yeah.
Community.
By the way, Jeff Schilling is the one that sent you that nice
He
Mr.
brought
Mutt.
me a lamp that was like
Yeah, it was nice. It was
a
this
tiny
one.
little desk lamp.
So anyway,
All right, come on. Let's go.
apparently everybody, I guess everybody except Michael Cutler and I know what a floor lamp is. So Neil has two.
You're Ursula.
So that's where we are. I was very embarrassed, and I was sorry to disappoint her, but I guess sometimes we have to get used to disappointment. All right. Speaking of disappointment, I'm going to save my full comments for the radio on Monday morning about this. But what the heck was up with that Tyson Logan Paul fight yesterday? Now, I blame myself for getting excited because I'm such a mark for all these gimmicky boxing matches and wrestling matches. Sean says, you don't have to finish. I'm Team Rachel. Thanks, Sean. I will keep that in mind next time you're in town. Yeah, by the nobody's more Team Sean than me. You should be Team Frank no matter what. So I blame myself for being such a mark for these things. You had to know it was going to be disappointing. And boy, oh boy, was it. I mean, it was nothing. It was terrible, honestly. I would say I feel bad for Mike Tyson and the damage he does to his legacy, but then I also remember that he got paid $20 million to do that. But the big loser was the people that paid money for tickets to that thing. Apparently, it was the most profitable boxing event in terms of ticket revenue outside of Las Vegas in history, and it was awful. It was just awful. So I don't know if he's going to. I don't know if he's going to fight again. I hope not. Honestly, I'll talk about it more on Monday. And it was also a disaster technically. They had to know that millions of people were going to be tuning in because they made it free, and it kept freezing. It was terrible. Akram Majid says, you condemn everything, even a victim of suicide with her dead children. Of course, she was an African-American, and people, your racism have brought you to saturation, but you have the audacity to condemn Whoopi. How does Rachel put up with your ignorance? Well, I think she has a tough time putting up with my ignorance. I'll be honest. Some days it's easier for her than others, clearly. Yeah, I mean, after the first two rounds, it was just awful. But I'll talk about it more on Monday, rather. Speaking of disappointments, I was floored that my wife informed me yesterday that the pediatric dentist that we go to, which does a good job, and they did a good job with Carmine. He enjoys going there. There's toys. It's very kid friendly. My wife calls on Friday to make an appointment for 6 months from now. So you're supposed to go to the dentist every 6 months. Oh, by the way, everybody watching, because we have a pretty big crowd now. Everybody watching, please like, comment, and share. Thank you for those of you that have liked. Harold, Eric, Andrew, Jerome, Grace, Angela, Ellen, Michael, and those of you that have loved this, including Jeannie and Virginia. But please share so that people in your timeline will see it. And you heard Carmine. If you could send some stars, we'd really appreciate it, because I'm trying to keep that cable bill, keep cable, and our cable bill is now up to $220 a month. So I'm fighting a losing battle here. So I think the only way that I win that battle is if a whole bunch of you say, in the name of keeping cable, you send as many stars as you can, or become subscribers, either one. So they tell my wife that from now on, they're only making children's appointments before noon. Now, how do we do that when he's in school? Well, can we do it on the weekend? No, they're not taking appointments on the weekend. So we have to take him out of school to take him to the dentist. And they said, well, we'll give you a doctor's note. Now, but what are we supposed to do for childcare during the day? So I don't think we can continue going there unless they change their policy. We're not going to continue going there. So if you know of a pediatric dentist on Staten Island that will be flexible in terms of appointments, meaning weekends or after 2 p.m. in the afternoon, let me know. You can email me. My email is frank.morano@redappleaudionetworks.com. That's frank.morano at redappleaudionetworks.com, because that was, I mean, it's just so annoying, quite frankly. All right, we're going to get going for this birthday party in a little bit. One of the other things that I had to say is I think Roger Stone was exactly right in terms of the possibility of Mike Rogers being nominated as the head of the FBI. Now, I like some of the Trump picks. I dislike others. If he goes forward with picking Mike Rogers as head of the FBI, Mike Rogers is a total institutionalist. He's an FBI guy. And I like Mike Rogers. He's been a guest on my show. He sounds great on radio and television. But the guy is exactly the type of, I hate to use the term because it's so overused, but I will here. I don't even want to use the term deep state, but he's exactly the type of government, permanent government law enforcement insider that has been running the FBI for years. The same type of person James Comey was, same type of person Christopher Wray is, same type of person Robert Mueller is. I really think we need a clean break from institutionalists running the FBI. And again, I know a lot of people don't like Roger Stone, but I think he nailed it with his most recent commentary on this. Anti-Trump neocon phony Mike Rogers is the wrong choice for FBI director. So not that Trump listens to me, but hopefully he'll listen to Roger Stone, who he's known for 40 years, more than 40 years, 44 years, and doesn't appoint Mike Rogers. And it's just, again, I'm happy to explain this to Mike Rogers once he comes on the radio with me again. And again, he's great on radio, but he's exactly the same as what we've had. Speaking of exactly the same as what we've had, I again want to make a plea for a guy that I have never seen eye to eye with, but is going through a very difficult time. Michael Grimm, who was an FBI agent, who was a Marine, who was an attorney, and who was a congressman that I don't want to say I was at war with, but who I was quite critical of, and who despises me, quite frankly, or at least did it when he was in public life. He is currently paralyzed from the chest down. So there's a GoFundMe that I've shared on my Facebook page at facebook.com/MoranoFan. In spite of whatever differences Michael Grimm and I have had, I made a contribution to this, and I am hoping that you will as well. We're trying to get this at least over $1 million because they're trying to get enough money so that he can walk
You're
again.
done with your video.
I'm almost done. Okay.
But you're done.
1 more minute, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you want to sit in my lap for 1 more minute? So what I would ask you, if you're willing, whether you like Michael Grimm or not, or if you don't have an opinion about Michael Grimm, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Thanks, dear Mommy.
Yeah. But I'm hoping you'll make a contribution because hopefully he can walk again. Lastly, I want to thank my buddy Brian Goldstein, who is one of my oldest friends going back 27 years, for taking the time to digitize a bunch of mini DV tapes that I gave him. And one of the tapes that he digitized was an interview that I had done 21 years ago with Captain Lou Albano, and I posted it on my Facebook page. So if you want to watch it, you can. I posted it up there for free. But he found a bunch of other good stuff from the old Morano Vision days, and I'm going to post a bunch of it. But that's going to be mostly for subscribers. If you want to become a subscriber, you can just go click the overview button under the comments box, then scroll to the bottom and click the subscribe button. That's going to be exclusively just for people that subscribe. On the one hand, it's very embarrassing watching me be so amateurish conducting an interview. But on the other hand, I have so many great moments and so many great memories with Captain Lou Albano, especially that particular interview that I did with Tuxedo Den as my sidekick. And it was a lot of fun to relive that.
Fun, Daddy.
It was a lot of fun. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Hey, should we go to Nick's birthday party?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Happy Saturday night. Shelly, Grace says hello to you. Say hi, Grace.
Hi, Grace.
Gilliana says you're beautiful. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Thanks, Giuliano.
Thank you, Juliana. Okay. Anything else? Anything else you want to add?
I want stars.
You want stars. Good. Send stars so that we can keep cable, please. Jeff says, Carmine, who is going to have a birthday in 2 weeks? When's your birthday? Why are you whispering? Say it loud.
November 25th.
That's right. We're going to have a nice party with family next Saturday. And what are we going to have at the party?
Cake.
Cake. And what else? What kind of food?
Tacos.
Tacos. Because who likes tacos?
Me.
You like tacos. Good. We're going to have tacos at Carmine's request. But for now, we're going to go to another birthday party.
I need to say something.
Go ahead. Say. Go ahead. What are you doing? What are you
Was that with the gray hair?
With the gray hair?
Yeah.
That's Grace. Well, I don't know that she actually has gray hair, but it looks like it. She has gray. You know who's watching? Aunt Virginia and Uncle Sean are watching.
Bang on.
And John Kwok is watching, who you met at a baseball game. And a bunch of other people. Okay. All right. I think that's enough, right?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe we'll try and do a video tomorrow. And if not, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Please send stars. Please subscribe. Please share this video for those of you that it comes up in your feed later. And comment as well. Leave a nice comment. That helps our virality numbers as well. But the key is share, share, share. Say, right? We like to share?
Yeah.
Okay. Go get your shoes. We'll go to Nick's, okay? Okay. All right. So long, everybody. I'll see you on the radio.